That's the Plaza España in Barcelona, and hopefully as we move, or if I move the camera, we'll have a better view. Anyway, Dembélé, it's a good time to talk about it because we mentioned in the top 5 video a few days back that things are not going well for him at Barcelona. What's happening is his discipline. It's not ideal. He's received criticism even from the Shams. Some of the he's received criticism even from the Shams. Some of the players at the club, some of the leaders of the club, like Rakitic and Piqué, have been mentioning that not like that, mate. So quite clearly something is happening there. He was late at a training session, unbelievable, and the club only heard about him from him, or only spoke to him an hour and a half after he had to be at the training ground. So it's not right, and a lot of people are comparing him to. It's not right, and a lot of people are comparing him to Anelka, in the sense that he didn't like discipline. What I say about Dembélé is that you could see. Even at Dortmund and the way he dealt with the interest from Barcelona, how he stopped going to training, how he smashed his own house and all, just to be heard and to be allowed to leave, that perhaps he doesn't take discipline and the kind of rules that work within football and with a team especially as seriously as he should. He was even a bit late to sit for the game at the weekend. And what's interesting is a lot of those stories, which normally are kept under wraps by the club, they actually are being published. So there are leaks from the club suggesting that he's not having the behaviour of an elite player. That's the first thing to say. Secondly, psychologically, it's interesting that when that happens, you obviously have to protect him, and that's what Valverde is doing. That's what Tuchel did at Borussia Dortmund. Everybody knows about it. The Shams have been protecting him, but not so much recently. So you've got a player that is being exposed now to the demands of elite football. And sometimes those players are not ready for that kind of approach. They may not want to be at the top elite. He probably thought it was a good opportunity, but does he belong there? Well, if he plays for Barcelona, he needs to learn a lot on the pitch and off the pitch. Off the pitch, you hear the kind of things that he's got to improve on, including nutrition. He has his own now French chef, and Barcelona have given him. Sorry about the noise. Should I let her finish?
Welcome to Aerobus.
Yeah, I'm in the bus.
Destination Airport, Terminal T1.
Airport T1. Because I'm going to Gibraltar. I'll tell you later if you want about that. Anyway, so it's not just nutrition. It's just respect for the profession, really, which Dembélé seems to be failing at. Now, what's quite clear is that despite the word that the club is putting to protect him and to look after him, he's not responding to everything. And as I said, perhaps. Sorry, I don't really cold. Perhaps it's because he doesn't belong there. But on the pitch, there is a problem with it as well. On the pitch, the problem being that he's got to follow a certain pattern in the way they play. No, you haven't mentioned level Scouser. I'm about to mention Liverpool, but I'm just putting the context first, if you don't mind, so you know where we stand. Damaged goods, definitely not Jordan. I think we still can save him if you like, but on the pitch at Barcelona, you have a lot of obligations, and Brian, I'll be telling you in a minute about Gibraltar. You've got a lot of obligations when you are on the pitch for Barcelona, especially without the ball. Especially when you lose the ball, you have to react, and when you have to be organised in the way you attack. So you don't expose the team. For instance, don't dribble one behind you. Doesn't always do that. In his opportunities right now, he's not at the top of the list of priorities in terms of the lineup. Coutinho, Luis Suarez, Messi will be the first choices on a big game up front, with Rakitic, Busquets and Arta being the ones in the middle. I'm sorry it's breaking up, but if there is something you're missing, let me know. It's just I must catch this plane to Gibraltar. Just quickly, I'm going to the literary festival in Gibraltar. I do every couple of years, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, Mbappe. I'm sorry to disappoint, but Liverpool have not made any offer for Mbappe. Sorry, Mbappe. Dembélé. They made no offer. It's not true that there is an offer for him. It's not true that Liverpool are making an offer. I believe Liverpool don't have an intention of bringing players in January. They're happy with what they have. You always have to be attentive to the market, and you always have to be, ready to jump at an opportunity. Right now, the plan is not to get anybody in January. Barcelona don't want to let him go in January either. They believe that they can get something out of him. They believe that he actually has obviously the potential to make a difference, as he did at the beginning of the season, and they will keep him until the end of the season. After that, we will see. The only approach from Arsenal was to get him on loan with an option to buy. That was from an intermediate, not directly from Arsenal. And again, Barcelona did not listen to it. So the offers that the Barcelona have received for Dembélé, not interesting. What's quite clear is that nobody's going to pay the money that it cost. That is quite clear. So I believe in the summer he will be put in the market. Doesn't mean he'll go, but it means that offers will be received and offers will be listened to. But right now, no offer from Liverpool, and right now, no intention from Liverpool to get anybody, and no intention for Barcelona to let him go in January. So that's where we stand with Dembélé, and that's what I kept to say to you. So I'm going to Gibraltar now. Now you can all the Dembélé friends, and not friends, and all the Arsenal Liverpool fans can go, because I'm going to talk for about 30 seconds about Gibraltar, an amazing, fascinating place. A place that you walk in and it's small, but there is always a huge effort to show that they have an identity, that they're not Spanish or English, they're Gibraltarians. They sound different to Spanish and English. And there are fascinating facts, like there are more roads inside the rock than in the rest of Gibraltar. There's 31 miles, I think, inside the rock, and the plan is to actually drive through some of those roads that were made by the British Army as a way to protect their soldiers and their army there. Anyway, fascinating place. May do a video from there, but right now I need to get to Terminal 1 and get my flight to Malaga to get to Gibraltar later on today. Thanks for listening, and talk to you later. Bye.